All right then, Hall of Fame promoter Bob Arum, what a pleasure to be with you here. First off, how are you doing?
Good, really good. I mean, the weather's beautiful, the people around are beautiful. What can be better?
And at Belfast Fight Week, just before we started recording, you were talking about last time you were here at Falls Park. There's something very special about them here, aren't there?
Yeah, I mean, there's something really special about the fans here in Belfast. They really appreciate the sport. They really get into it. And they realize it's a sport, and they're here to have a good time. And that's what I love about it. The whole spirit of the people here is something special.
It's funny, you've obviously been around boxing for so many years, but I saw you there as the Irish and Mexican fans in here both started chanting at each other. A big grin came across your face. You still love it, don't you, when it's these big fight nights?
Yeah, it's great. It's particularly great when you have each man a representative of a different ethnic group. That's what really makes it fun. The Mexican fans, there are just a few of them here, but they're so enthusiastic. And here in Belfast, the fans equally so. It makes it a lot of fun.
And you always seem to get such joy out of the Michael Conlan fights and the Michael Conlan fight weeks. You said a little bit up there why you find him so exciting, but what is it that draws you to him so much?
Well, because he's a really man of his principle. A lot of times when you get cheated out of a decision in the Olympics, you're told to be quiet and to accept it, and he wouldn't accept it. And he gave the finger where it belonged. To the Russians, who, in effect, had rigged the judges so that he couldn't win the fight. And years later, Putin has showed himself to be the scoundrel that a lot of people said he was.
The moment he showed the camera the finger like that, did you look at that and think, there's money, that's a man who has to go pro and I've got to work with him?
No, it's somebody who really said what he believed and expressed it in a non-conventional way. And that's what I liked immediately about him.
And you said in the press conference that this will be a competitive fight. What do you see of Luis Alberto Lopez that should concern Michael Conlan?
Luis Lopez is not the greatest technical fighter in the world, but he has a heart like huge, and he refuses to lose, and he doesn't give a damn where he's fighting or whom he's fighting against. A lot of these Mexican kids come from very, very poor backgrounds, and so they're fighting not only for their survival, but the survival of their families. And so there's something special in the way a Mexican kid like Luis Alberto Lopez approaches a boxing match. All fighters want to win, but with a lot of Mexican fighters, it's really a fight for survival.
And you think that this is going to lead to, at very least, an entertaining fight?
It could be a great fight. I think Mick has better technical abilities than Luis has, but he's got to overcome a guy who is so driven. And when you're fighting for, in effect, the survival of your family, for the life-changing ability of your family to survive, that's a tough opponent.
Should Michael Conlan win on Saturday night, world champion in his hometown, what nights would you like to see him have in the future?
Well, if that happens and Michael wins, I'll sit down with he and Jamie and Michael's father, and we'll figure out the best course of action for him. Maybe we bring him back to the United States to fight. We'll see. But this would be a lifelong dream for Michael to win this fight, and then we'll plot his next step to really capitalize on the title.
While we're here in Belfast, last time I was here, it was a fight at Windsor Park, and Tyson Fury was on the undercard. Tyson Fury, I see the glint in your eye there. He's been running around Australia, making negotiations with people, doing his own thing. A huge bonus for you, a man that just runs around making attention for himself. But what's your latest update with Tyson Fury, as far as you know?
Well, in a lot of ways, Fury reminds me of Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali would do the same thing. He would go visit a place, and there'd be stories that came out. Well, he wants to fight in this city and that city against this fighter or that fighter, and he does it to have a good time. And Tyson Fury, I think, goes around, and he's earned it. He wants to have a good time, and he wants to have a laugh, and he wants to have people like him and admire him. And when he comes back to the UK, I just talked to George Warren, and they were going to sit, and Frank and George will sit with him. And if I have to come over, I'll go over, and we'll sit with Tyson and see what he wants to do. If he wants to have a fight this summer, who he wants to have it against. And then, of course, we're all planning for the big showdown in December of this year to determine a unified champion.
And your gut feeling, do you think there'll be a fight in summer? Your gut feeling, what's that telling you about what Tyson will do?
I have no gut feeling about what Tyson is going to do. What Tyson is going to do depends on his gut and not mine.
And I've also seen him obviously running around with some UFC guys as well. I think John Jones he's called out. He was with Israel Adesanya the other day. He just wants to be the main event wherever he is, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, he's earned it. He's earned it, just the way Ali earned it. So for me, it's not surprising. And I just, like every other fan, when I read about it, I have a great laugh because he is a character and he's having a good time. And I appreciate the fact that he's enjoying himself and having a great time.
All right then, Bob. Well, enjoy yourself and have a great time in Belfast. And thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.